Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday. I wanted to come to you this morning and or this afternoon rather, and talk to you about a couple of dreams that I've had recently over the past week, and one real short one last night. Excuse me. This first one I had where my wife and I drove into this apartment complex. And as we pulled up, we saw a woman in the upstairs apartment in the window, and she waved us to come in. And I felt like this woman represents the Holy Spirit of God. So we got out the car and we went upstairs and we went into the apartment. And when we went into the apartment, it became a townhouse apartment, upstairs and downstairs. When we went into the apartment, there was nobody there. And so we went upstairs. My wife was in front of me. And as we came upstairs, there were several doors, and each door was closed. And my wife, she walked up ahead and she opened one of the doors and went into the room. And so I went back down to the bottom of the stairs, looked around, and then I turned around and I went back up the stairs. And when I came back up the stairs, I looked over to my left and I saw a nursery. Like someone had put together a nursery for a newborn that they were preparing for a newborn. And so that represented the birth of Christ, Christ's return that's coming soon. Christ is to return soon. And so that represented the birth of Christ. When you think about birth pangs, Pangs, when you think about birth pangs, you think about a woman when she gets ready to have a child. She has these pains that lets her know that the child is getting closer. And so the closer that it gets to her having the baby, the more intense the pains and the closer they come together. Okay. And so we see where the West Coast and on down Chile and areas like that, that's known as the Ring of Fire. And so we know that when a woman has a baby, that when the baby's head gets ready to come out and there's a crown there, that's known as the Ring of Fire. When the baby's head is getting ready to come out and you see that crown, that's the Ring of Fire. So I wanted to explain that so you would understand what I mean, that the nursery represents the birth of Christ, Christ soon to return. And so then I looked that was on my left. I looked to my right, and there was a door open, and there were children in the room on the bed watching television. That represented the church, or the bride, because it's the word tells us that we must be humble as little children. Okay. So the children in the room represented the bride, the church, that God is coming to return. And so then I found myself, the scene changed, and I was outside. And there were a line in the grass outside the apartments. In the grass, there was a line of chairs. Okay. I have tried my best to remember how many chairs, but it was long chairs. There was a line of chairs. There were two men sitting in the front two chairs at the end. There were two men sitting in those chairs, okay? And there was a canal running in front, about 10 feet in front of the chairs. And so I walked over and I sat down in the third chair next to the two men. And when I sat down in this third chair, there became a great shaking began to take place. Like a great earthquake was hitting. And of course, we know that when in the Bible, when it speaks of a shaking happening, a great shaking occurring, we know that that speaks of judgment that is coming. Okay? So America, there is, and the world, there is a great shaking coming to America. Financially. Okay? War. Great devastations, disasters. They are all coming. There is a great shaking that is coming to the church. And you ask yourself, well, why is God going to do these things? Because of sin. The church has turned its back on God. So God is going to turn his back on the church. There will be a great shaking that is going to occur. A lot of people are about to get exposed. Mega churches and small churches. A lot of people are about to get exposed. We're seeing club-like atmospheres in the churches. Worldly music being played in the churches. Men with men in the churches. Women with women in the churches. We're seeing, it's just embarrassing the things that's going on right now with the church. But there's a great shaking that is going to occur. And people are going to say, why is God doing this? We can't believe that God would do this. He is supposed to be a God of love. Well, God can't believe that the church is doing what they're doing. Shit, I can't even believe it. So there's a great shaking, a great judgment that is coming to the church. Tribulation will start by the end of 2025. Next dream that I had a dream last night. Very short dream. And in this dream, I was in a long line of traffic. Bumper to bumper, as far as you could see. And so suddenly, there was a gap in the traffic. You know how you stop to let somebody in. And there was this 18-wheeler truck that crossed in front of this car to get across the road. This 18-wheeler was loaded down with gravel. And this 18-wheeler went out into a certain location and began to dump this gravel in efforts for those on that property to come and spread this gravel later on because of the storm, the great storm, all the rain that was to come. They wanted to make sure they got this gravel out so that they could preserve the road. In other words, there was preparation occurring for what was coming. And so I've had several dreams about a storm that's coming, and God was showing me again that there is a great storm coming to the world, especially America. There's a great storm coming to the world that we must prepare for. We must first prepare spiritually, and then how you prepare physically is between you and God. But there's a great storm coming to America that is going to change the way that people think and the way that people live. I've seen all these things. I've seen mega unemployment. I've seen empty businesses. I've seen meteors. I've seen World War III. I've seen all these things that are coming. I don't know which one is going to happen first. God doesn't give dates. He just lets you know that these things are coming and that they're coming soon. So you have a choice. Either you can be prepared spiritually and physically, or you can just keep living the way that you're living and just be caught off guard. It's up to you. But if you're caught off guard, then you're going to be at the mercy of the government. And I can tell you that they don't care nothing about you. Their end result that they want is they want to chip people with the mark of the beast. That's what they're preparing for. They know what's going on. They know the rapture is going to occur. They know that the economic collapse is going to occur, blah, blah, blah. They know, they even see the meteors in space that's coming. They know that these things are going to occur. Why do you think there's all these billionaires, all these rich people building bunkers below the ground? Why do you think there's cities below ground? Why do you think there's military bases below ground? They know what's coming. And everything we're talking about is in the Word. It talks about, the Bible talks about men hiding in rocks and said, fall on us. So God has me telling you these things to prepare you for the future. But you cannot survive unless you're walking with God and unless you have a relationship with Him so that He can protect you. Other than that, you're going to take the mark of the beast because you're not going to have anywhere to stay. You're going to be hungry. You're not going to be able to purchase anything. You're not going to be able to sell anything unless you have the mark of the beast. And I can tell you that that's around the corner. It's coming soon. Just look around. So God bless you. God keep you. I will return soon to do another video. This next video, I believe, will be on New York. Have a good day. Thank you.